Rajneesh.
That's the last name, Rajneesh.
Yes, well, that's okay. Rajneesh Bhagwan or Bhagwan Rajneesh.
Bhagwan this.
Doc Severinsen wasn't just Johnny Carson's bandleader, but his secret comedy weapon, turning trumpet breaks into punchlines.
And they're mean birds.
They are?
But kids would get them, you know. Now you got to go out there and kill them. I couldn't do that.
They
could you?
deserve it.
What?
They deserve it. Anything that ugly should die.
These are Doc Severinsen's funniest Tonight Show moments. Thanksgiving plans with Carson.
The house and
This is the first time you've ever asked me.
well, you made me feel so guilty.
I mean, when you ask an employee in front of 15 million people, do you want to come to the house for Thanksgiving dinner? What am I going to say? No. You know what I say? I say, yes, Mr. Carson, I love it.
Can you come?
No.
The setup is nothing more than two men talking about Thanksgiving, but it keeps escalating into increasingly ridiculous deadpan detail. Doc corrects Johnny during a monologue.
You've been reading about the Banshee Watcher Rajneesh or something? The man's got 90 Rolls Royces, and people keep giving him cars. Nice cult. Did you say something?
No, the correct name is Rajneesh.
Rajneesh.
Yes.
The Bhagwan.
Rajneesh.
That's the last name, Rajneesh.
Yes, well, that's okay. Rajneesh Bhagwan or Bhagwan Rajneesh.
Bhagwan this.
Doc interrupts and corrects Carson, and suddenly the monologue becomes a little office comedy instead of a stand-up set. Johnny makes fun of Doc's floral jacket.
They booed the more to come sign. I mean, it's... Anyway, I welcome you. Cute outfit.
Beautiful.
Would that be considered a paisley? Is that...
Floral print.
Oh, really?
Jungle fever.
You're gutsy to wear a floral print. But that's very attractive, though.
You like this?
You carry that off. You have the face that can wear that. I don't know what that means, but no.
Johnny goes after Doc's casino chandelier wardrobe mercilessly, while Doc takes the hit without ever seeming embarrassed. Funny New Year's resolutions with Johnny and Ed.
I made 2 resolutions. Did you make any resolutions?
One.
What? Can you tell me?
Again, losing more weight. I always like to lose weight. What did you do?
I made a resolution not to eat so many fatty foods.
Right.
And I'm going to pay the extra $3 for the blow dry at Supercuts. Did you make any resolutions?
Yes, I did.
Will you share them with us?
Well, yes, I have resolved never to mess around with another trumpet player's spit key.
The humor comes from personalities bouncing off one another, making even fake resolutions sound revealing. Kids' letters about cooking turkey.
Now that it's Thanksgiving, we got some letters from some school teachers here. And they send them to us from time to time, and children are wonderful. And their project was to ask each of the children how to cook a turkey. Now, kids are wonderful. You could not make these up. First, somebody kills the turkey with a gun. Then they package it. Then they put it in the store for people to buy. Unwrap the turkey, put it in a pan. Put a thermometer clock on it. Put this in the oven for about 10 minutes. Take it out, cool it, eat it with gravy. No, Jennifer's, go to the store and buy a turkey, cook it in the oven until 5 o'clock.
Johnny reads absurd children's instructions, then uses Doc as a target and sounding board, keeping the segment from becoming a simple reading gag, emptying water from his horn.
Do that again so the audience can see what you were doing before this.
Cleaning out my horn.
Show them what you were doing. I looked over and I see this. What does that do? Do you have to be... You don't have to be so graphic. That gets all the air and the moisture out of the...
Moisture out. Gets the moisture out.
Gets the moisture out.
Yeah.
The rest of the guys have the moisture out of their instruments? Anyway.
They've been having it out.
Oh. Why do I bring this up?
Doc tries to handle a normal trumpet player problem discreetly while Johnny refuses to let it stay discreet. Johnny asks Doc for his highest note.
What was that last note you hit on? What was that last note on the trumpet?
High. That was a B flat concert. High B flat concert.
High B flat.
Hurts.
Is that the highest note you can hit on the trumpet?
No, it depends on what happened the day before.
But that's a high B flat, right?
Yeah. You're getting into danger zone with
Try
that.
do the high B flat again and then see if you can go above it.
Carson treats a genuinely difficult musical skill like a carnival challenge, while Doc leans into the absurdity. Carson and Doc talk about his horses.
I kid you about
I
your
don't
horses.
have to worry about the gas shortage.
Because you raise horses?
Because I have my own form of transportation that doesn't require gasoline. Although
wanna
if you put
show
a
you
little
this.
gas in there, it might help.
This is a beautiful horse. I've never seen your horse. I kid you about him.
Well, this is one of them here.
But,
His
look
name
at
is
this.
Sandy Spur. He's not a bad looking.
Isn't that pretty?
He's pretty good looking.
That's a good-looking horse. That's a he?
Yeah. Who, the jockey or the horse?
No, the horse.
No, that's an it.
That's a gelding?
Yes.
That's a gelding.
He's had his entire life changed.
Did they do that when the horse is a certain age?
When they're not looking.
This is a quieter kind of funny, but it belongs on the list because Doc talking about something off stage often portrayed how naturally eccentric he could be. Carson always did well with guests or sidekicks whose real lives sounded faintly improbable, and horses gave him a perfect lane to tease Doc without forcing a fake bit. Carson makes fun of Doc's new tie.
Ooh, look at that tie. Ooh. Have you worn that one before?
No, I just got this one.
Who sold you that? Some
This is part
gypsy in
of
an empty store?
Raquel Welch's old bikini here.
Raquel Welch's old bikini?
The bottom half.
Top half you could make a suit out of. Anyway.
The tie bit is funny for the same reason the floral jacket material works, because Doc looked enough like a peacock that Johnny never had to work very hard to find an angle. A tie is even better comedy territory because it's so minor and so easy to over-discuss as Carson turns that tiny wardrobe detail into a mock event. Fred and Doc give Johnny the business.
What are you talking to him for? What? No, what are you over there?
I'm dying right out here. And you're over talking to Ross.
That's what we were talking about.
What? I'm standing out there busting my chops.
Yeah.
And you're over here talking about a gig coming up. What is it?
No. What we were talking about is if you come up with one more bombaroo,
Yeah?
we're going to give...
You're going to go into that?
This is a strong late-period Carson moment because it shows how funny the show could be when the people around Johnny stopped treating him like untouchable royalty. Fred de Cordova and Doc teaming up changes the whole power balance for a few minutes, as Johnny is funniest when he has to defend himself while pretending he's above the fight. This segment puts him exactly there, as Doc works beautifully in that role because he never seems mean, just delighted to join the mutiny. Great ad-lib. During Monologue,
They report that coffee and the caffeine improves your sex life after 60 years of age. That's true. Now, I know it's true because last night Fred de Cordova had himself hooked up to an IV of Maxwell House. Now, how many of you saw that in the news? I'm not making it up.
Yeah.
The caffeine, for some reason, improves the sex life. So,
Keeps you awake.
what? I'm busting my beard out here, and he gets a big laugh.
some of Doc's best Tonight Show comedy came from moments too quick to feel pre-planned. An ad-lib during the monologue is funny because it catches Carson mid-flow and forces him to react live instead of controlling the rhythm. Those were often the biggest laughs Doc got, not from a formal setup, but from sneaking in one line at exactly the right second. This shows he wasn't just colorful scenery behind the desk, but an actual comic contributor who understood timing. Doc's musical background gives him an instinctive sense of rhythm that translates perfectly to comedy timing. He waits for the exact pause in in Johnny's delivery, then drops his comment like a perfectly timed rim shot. Carson's surprise is genuine because Doc's interjections were rarely scripted into the monologue structure. The live audience responds more enthusiastically to these spontaneous moments than to prepared material. Ed, Fred, and Doc give Johnny the business.
Is that the way it's supposed to work?
Man made a very good point there, John.
Isn't it supposed to be I do the jokes, get the big laugh?
Try it for a while.
You know, Ed's right.
This variation is fun because the whole inner circle is now in on the tease, creating an overwhelming force. Once Ed, Fred, and Doc all pile in, Johnny no longer looks like the calm ringleader, but like the only man who's lost control of his own show. That role reversal is always fertile ground on Carson, as Doc's part in it matters, because he gives the attack a light, smiling musical authority flavor, instead of pure insult comedy. Ed starts with his booming announcer voice, adding theatrical weight to the complaints.
Now, then he was upgraded. He was actually upgraded to vacation. Formerly, before that, he had a cold. No reason I mentioned that. Remember when it was Brezhnev that... where are you going, Fred? Fred. Fred's the kind of a guy that'll stick with you through thick and thick. But as soon as you're in trouble, what is it, Fred?
I had a feeling the monologue was over, John.
Fred contributes producer insights about Johnny's backstage quirks that viewers never see. Doc chimes in with observations from the musical perspective, creating 3 different angles of attack. Johnny tries addressing each one individually, but they overlap their criticisms strategically. The studio audience clearly enjoys watching the power structure collapse even temporarily. Carson's reactions shift between genuine laughter and mock indignation as he plays along. Doc's contribution remains the gentlest, but his musical credibility makes it sting differently than Ed's bluster. The segment works because everyone knows it's playful rebellion, not genuine hostility. Setting up Johnny's golf shot.
In Los Angeles magazine, actually,
Take a little look at that. That's in Los Angeles magazine. You know, it's wonderful, John, that you have that here on today. This is the first day of summer.
That's right.
And people will be coming to Los Angeles, and it's absolutely wonderful. Here in this magazine, on that one page that you pointed out, there is absolutely everything that anybody would want to know about a free thing to do in Los Angeles.
Look at it this way. Ed can't play the trumpet either.
Anything that let Johnny behave as though he were a serious athlete while Doc hovered nearby was already halfway to funny. The golf shot setup works because it takes a tiny physical task and surrounds it with way too much ceremony, creating comedy from the mismatch. Doc helps create that mock-serious atmosphere, which makes the inevitable awkwardness funnier when Johnny completely whiffs the shot. The bit involves bringing out actual golf equipment, treating the studio like a makeshift driving range. Doc stands off to the side, offering commentary as if he's a professional caddy analyzing Johnny's form. Carson goes through an elaborate pre-shot routine, checking his grip, adjusting his stance, and taking practice swings. The audience anticipates disaster, making the setup itself funnier with each additional moment of preparation. Doc pretends to study Johnny's technique, suggesting minor adjustments that sound plausible but are completely useless. When Johnny finally swings the ball, either goes nowhere or flies wildly off course. The comedy comes from treating this meaningless stunt like a major sporting event with Doc as the straight-faced expert. This demonstrates how Carson-era comedy often elevated small, pointless tasks into absurdly important moments. Introducing the band with Cheerleaders.
Here's our last guest.
Doc Severinsen, trumpet, Oregon State Correctional Institute.
Hey, Doc, hey. How about those clothes? Doc gets all his clothes in the same place, in the dumpster behind La Cage aux Folles. How about a nice hand for all these crazy guys in the band? How about that, eh?
This is pure Tonight Show silliness, which is why it works perfectly. The band introduction should be the most routine part of the night, and instead, Carson turns it into a miniature spectacle with Doc at the center surrounded by cheerleaders. The cheerleaders make the whole thing feel gloriously unnecessary, and that's exactly the joke. Doc's presence keeps it from becoming mere gag clutter, because he always looked like he belonged in the madness even while pretending he didn't. The cheerleaders perform an actual routine complete with pom-poms and synchronized movements for a simple band introduction. Doc stands in the middle looking simultaneously pleased and bewildered by the absurd production. Johnny watches from the desk making dry comments about the unnecessary pageantry. The band plays their usual introduction music while cheerleaders spell out Doc's name with their bodies. This transforms the routine 5-second band acknowledgement into a full 30-second production number. Doc plays along perfectly, acting as if this ridiculous tribute is completely normal and expected. The segment works because it takes something that happens every single night and makes it memorable through sheer excess. Carson's genius was recognizing that Doc's colorful persona could absorb any amount of silliness without breaking. Doc Severinsen spent 3 decades proving that a band leader could steal scenes without saying a word and become Johnny's perfect comedic foil through genuine friendship and turn musical breaks into comedy gold just by existing in Carson's orbit. His willingness to be the punchline while maintaining world-class musicianship created a sidekick template that late-night television has been trying to replicate ever since then. Which Doc Severinsen Johnny Carson Tonight Show moment made you laugh harder than the others? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more legendary Tonight Show moments.